In this video, I'm going to talk about how to shade regions in a Venn diagram. As you can see, we have two subsets in this Venn diagram, set A and set B. And these two sets have common elements. That's why they overlap, and there is an overlapping area here. Now we are going to shade some regions in this Venn diagram. Okay, let's start with a simple one. The first region that we are going to shade is A. Here we need to shade all of A. So let's shade everything in A. Now what about A complement? Complement of A. A complement is the exact opposite of A. Therefore, the region of A complement is the region outside A. So here we need to shade everything outside set A, like this. Now I have shaded the region outside set A. So it's the complement of A. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What about A union B? Here we need to shade everything in both the sets. So we are going to shade everything in A as well as everything in B. So let me shade A, also B. So remember, when it comes to the union of two sets, when you are to shade the union of two sets, you need to shade everything in both the sets. Now, what about the complement of A union B? Now here we need to shade the opposite of what we did here. Now here we need to shade everything outside A union B. So this part is A union B, this region. So the outside of this region is, let's shade. This is the region outside the union of A and B. So this is complement of A union B. Okay, now let's move on to some difficult ones. Here again we have a union, A complement union B. Now for this, I'm going to use two separate colors. For A, I'm going to use blue, and for B, I'm going to use pink. Remember, whenever you see a union, you need to shade everything in both sets. So in this case, we need to shade everything in the complement A and everything in B. So first, let's shade everything in A complement. We know that A complement is the opposite of A. So we need to shade everything outside A. So this is our A. So here we need to shade everything outside A. Now I have shaded A complement. And then we need to shade everything in B as well. So I'm going to pick pink color now. Okay, let's shade everything in B. I'm going to shade in the same direction. As you can see, only one small region is not shaded. This part, this region. So except this small region, we need to shade everything. Okay, let me show you our final answer in a separate Venn diagram. So except this small area, I'm going to shade everything. Okay, this is our final answer. Okay, let's move on to the next region. What about this region? Here we have A union B complement. So again, let's do a little scrap work. So first of all, I'm going to shade everything in A. Then I'm going to shade B complement. B complement means opposite of B. That means I need to shade everything outside B. So this is my B. So everything outside B. Now for the union, we need to consider everything that we have shaded. So our final answer is, as you can see, this small region is unshaded. So except that region, we need to shade everything. So let's shade. Okay, this is our final answer. Okay, let's move on to some difficult ones. Okay, what about A complement union B complement? It's the same way. Here again, we need to shade everything in A complement and also everything in B complement. Now, A complement means everything outside A. So let's shade it. Everything outside A. Okay, then B complement. That means everything outside B. This is B. So everything outside B. Now can you see this small area is unshaded, and except this small area, everything we have shaded. So our final answer is, except this small area, we need to shade everything. Okay, now let's take complement of A complement union B complement. Now this is the exact opposite of what we did just now. So it's obvious that we need to shade only this unshaded area in the previous one. Anyhow, let me again explain you step by step. First, we need to do a little scrap work. So first what we do is, we shade everything in A complement. Then we shade everything in B complement. Then we take the complement of A complement union B complement. Okay, now first of all, let's shade everything in A complement. Like we did in the previous one. Again, I'm shading everything in A complement. And then we need to shade everything in B complement. So except B, I'm going to shade the other area, the other region. Now union means we need to consider everything that we have shaded. But now we need to find the complement of this whole thing. So the complement of what we did now. Or in other terms, the opposite of what we did now. So the opposite is what is unshaded. Opposite equals the unshaded region. So our answer is this. We need to shade only the unshaded region. Okay, now let's move on to some more harder ones. What about the complement of A complement union B? Again, for this, we need to do a little scrapbook. Now, this is actually the opposite of this one. Complement of A complement union B is the opposite of A complement union B. So what we do is, in our first step, we shade this region, A complement union B. So A complement means everything in A complement. That means everything outside A, like this. And then B is everything in B. Now the complement of this region is the unshaded region. Our answer should be the unshaded remaining area over here, this region. So let's show our final answer. Only this region. Okay, next, the complement of A union B complement. Again, the same way, let's do our little scrapper. We need to shade everything in A. Then we need to shade everything in B complement. Now remember, the complement of this region means the unshaded region. So our unshaded region is this area. So for our answer, we need to shade that unshaded region. Like this. Okay, now let's take a look at intersections. These are a bit harder than the unions. So how do we shade intersections? Okay, I'm going to start with a simple one. Let's say you want to shade A intersection B. This is the symbol that we use to indicate intersection. Now, let me shade A first of all. This is everything in A. And then I'm going to shade everything in B. But I'm going to change the direction of my lines. I'm going to shade like this. So everything in B now. Now, did you notice this? This small region is shaded twice. Now, this is actually our intersection. Now, this region is common to both sets. So, in our final answer, we need to shade only this overlapping area. This area is common to both sets. So, this is our answer. What about complement of A intersection B? Of course, it should be the opposite of what we just did. So opposite of this, right? So that is everything that we did not shade. And it is everything except the middle. So remember in this case, first identify the region that belongs to the intersection of A and B. And then shade everything except the region of intersection. So like this, we need to shade everything except the middle. So this is our complement of A intersection B. Okay, now let's move on to some difficult ones. A complement intersection B. Okay, let's do a little scrap work. For A, I'm going to use blue color. For B, I'm going to use pink. So first, I'm going to shade A complement. So let's shade everything outside A. This is A. So I'm going to shade everything outside set A. Okay, this is our A complement. Now I use pink color and I'm going to shade everything in B. But remember, I'm going to change the direction of the lines because then only we can nicely identify the area that is shaded twice. Now our intersection is the area that we shaded twice. Now can you see the region that is shaded twice? It's this area. This is the region. So this region that we shaded twice is our answer. So let's put our final answer. This is our answer. Now what about A intersection B complement? Okay, again let's do our scrap work. Then we can easily identify our final answer. So I'm going to shade everything in A. Then I'm going to shade B complement. This means everything outside B. Now again, do you see this? This is the area that is shaded twice. So this should be our answer, this particular area. So in our final answer, let's shade this area. This is A intersection B complement. Okay, now let's shade A complement intersection B complement. Here again, let's do a little scrapbook. Now, first of all, I'm going to shade A complement. This means I need to shade everything except A. Then I pick another color, which is pink here. And I'm going to shade B complement. So here I need to shade everything except B. So I'm going to change the direction of the lines and shade everything except B. Now what is our region that is shaded twice? It's the area except these two circles, right? So this is our region. So I'm going to shade my final answer. Here is our answer. Okay, what about the complement of A complement intersection B complement? Yeah, you know the answer now. It's the opposite of what we just did now. So this means only these two circles. Everything in A and everything in B. We need to shade everything in A and everything in B, because it's the opposite of what we just did here. Now remember here, first of all, identify A complement intersection, B complement region. Then to shade the complement of this region, you need to shade the opposite of A complement intersection B complement. So always do a scrapper and identify the exact region to shade. Now how do we shade the complement of A complement intersection B? So as I told you, first of all, do a scrapper. Then arrive at your answer. So I'm going to use blue and shade A complement. A complement is everything except A. Then let's use another color. Here I use pink. And let's shade everything in B. Now what is our region A complement intersection B? It's this area. This region that is shaded twice. Now is this our answer? No. Because we need to find the complement of this region. The region that is shaded twice. Now we need to shade everything except this region that is shaded twice. So except this region, I'm going to shade the other region. So this is our final answer. So what about the complement of A intersection B complement? Let's apply the similar method. First of all, let's shade the region A. Then you say B, I am going to shade everything. Now, what is the area that is shaded twice? It's this area, right? Now, is this our answer? No, because we need to obtain the complement of this area. So it should be the opposite. So I'm going to shade everywhere except that region. So this is our final answer. Okay, let me give you a quick summary. In this video, we learned how to shade regions in a Venn diagram. So we learned how to shade unions, also intersections. So in this video, we learned how to shade regions related to two sets. And remember, when it comes to shading unions, you need to take everything that you shaded to your answer. And when it comes to intersections, you need to take the region that is shaded twice to your answer. Okay, I hope you understood how to simply shade regions in a Venn diagram with two sets. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.